Hello, and welcome to Audio Blogs, where we embark on an exciting journey through the world of technology and spotlight the remarkable achievements of professionals making waves in their field. This broadcast is proudly presented by Technophiles, the Computer Science Department Society of Bharati College, University of Delhi. I am your host, Audia, and today we have the privilege of speaking with an extraordinary guest whose expertise and dedication to sustainable technology are truly inspiring. Get ready to dive into an enlightening conversation as we explore his journey and insights into the tech industry. Let's extend a warm welcome to our phenomenal guest today, Akshit Batra. Akshit is a consultant developer at ThoughtWorks, where he brings his deep expertise in technologies such as TypeScript, JavaScript, Spring Boot, React, and Node.js to the forefront. A passionate advocate for sustainable tech, Akshit is not only a skill developer, but also a mentor and a LinkedIn top voice in the computer science community. His commitment to promoting eco-friendly technologies and his extensive experience in both development and public speaking makes him an exceptional figure in the industry. Welcome, Akshit.
Thank you for the lovely introduction.
Okay, so Akshit, as we know, you're a champion for sustainable technologies. So, to kick things off, can you share with us one of your favorite eco friendly tech hacks or innovations that you're excited about?
So I have seen multiple tools. So like there are a lot of tools in marketing. So there's one tool which ThoughtWorks has started as an open source. So this is a cloud carbon footprint tool. So it's a tool used to get your carbon footprint for your cloud, and it supports multiple cloud. So you have one single dashboard where you can get the whole stats of your carbon footprint, like what all your application service is giving, how many electricity is using, what's the carbon emission, and it's also give you a stat. Okay, how many trees you can plant, how many flights you can take from this distance, right? And as also as it supports multiple cloud, you can use one for multiple teams as well. That's
That
one.
really sounds
Also, yeah, sorry. Also there are more. So like there is one foundation, right? Green Software Foundation. So they have built one standard, like software carbon intensity software standard, which is used to calculate the carbon intensity or carbon emission of a software, which is quite hard to calculate for software. That's also a very good standard.
so that really sounds like a game changer. It's very interesting. So that was something really intriguing to me. Speaking of innovations, let's explore how you have bridged the gap between learning and the real world applications in the tech industry. Like from your perspective at ThoughtWorks, what are the initial steps to a successfully transitioning from academia to industry?
Yeah, I think first we might have to understand the process, right? One, when you create a project in college, right? It's a very small scale. We see, okay, 3 months we will be doing it. It might be very small scale. Only two or three people are there. Right? But in an industry, we have a very long cycle. We see a very systems. So one, we need to understand, right? So we can join in any phase of the project. It might be starting from basic, right? So you need to always say, okay, a lot of things to know, right? So now, the easier way, you have a habit of understanding code, right? So let's say you can start project at any given point, and you have the whole backlog of understanding the architecture, the code, and then you need to know the basic, right? How the flow goes. So let's say you're working on Java, right? You should know the flow of where application starts, where it goes. Although the team is there, but it's up to you, right? If you can't read the code properly and within time, right? It's up to you, right? Because it takes a lot of time, right? So one is that there's a habit of reading code. And then you also need to understand, you might not see the result of that project. So, as we see a lot of consultancy in the market, right? So they have, a person is working for a project for 1 year, 6 months. So you might not see the actual delivery of that project. So you've worked for 6 months without any reward. You don't see that going live. You can't brag about it. Okay, I have worked on this, right? And then we have a lot of tech stack, right? When you say, when we say, okay, we are working as a full stack developer, you have so many tech stacks. You see the whole transition of new technology. Okay, every day some new security fixes there, a new vulnerability. Uh, let's say React goes and okay, obsolete some package, right? So let's in React 17, class component got obsolete. So then every team has to migrate to the newer version. Right? So that also happens. So you also need to be updated with the new what's the new in market, if there's some new version is there, right? So you might not see a lot of innovation and development in your everyday phase. So you might see, okay, some high priority task, do a bug fix. So you might not feel like, okay, it's too challenging, but sometimes you will see, okay, this is very challenging, this is very good problem solving. But a lot of days you might not. You might also see that you're not getting too much development because you're debugging. You're trying to find the issues. You're just trying to migrate the systems. Yeah.
Surely happens, sir. We all are facing those issues in our everyday life, and that was truly insightful information. Considering you mention of sustainable technologies, so I'm eager to learn more. Like, what are these specific skills or projects that would make someone stand out in this growing field?
I would say sustainability is a growing field, but it's quite new, right? People do not know how to utilize it best, right? So, it's quite hard to make it profitable, right? Because as a business people, they do not say, right? They need metrics. They are concerned with major business, right? So how do you convince that, okay, if you apply sustainability, how does it make a benefit, right? How you earn money with that, right? So one, if you're doing something in sustainable trade, you also need to link it back to business, right? So let's say you optimize your code to make it more sustainable, like, and then you link it back to the cost efficiency, and try to give a metric, right? So we see a lack of that leadership, right? We see a lack of the case studies that we have. Let's say like AI, right? Like AI is emerging, right? The generative AI. So everyone is giving you a free version. So even they are not very sure how to earn the money. So first they're trying to give people a high of this, like try be dependent on that part, right? And then probably ask for a premium price, something, right? So sustainability also that, right? Like we have different standards, environment standards. So even like a lot of companies are getting incentives out of government to decrease the carbon emissions, but we are still seeing we do not see a lot of adoption because we do not see a very good metric. Okay, if you do this, you can decrease your emission by this number. A very thorough research is needed. So yeah, we can see a lack of this. So if someone would like to do that, we can do a spike, we can do a hands-on, try to build that. Okay, if I do this, this will be an impact, right? So if you can give that whole flow, a real thing. Okay, if I have tried this. So also like if you see there are different researches, right? So let's say if you use Python, it's not performant, right? It uses a lot of resources. Let's say if you use Rust is quite performant. It takes a lot of less resources, right? So people have actually compared the programming language, right? So that's you can do a very good research, give a metric. Okay, this is actual thing. If you let's say do a better clean code, how can you decrease the carbon emissions? What all it impacts, and link it back to the business. How much money you can save? How monetary benefit you can give to the business, right? Because everything else comes to business, right? Because if you're not earning money, you're wasting money, right?
So that is a really incredible idea, and I feel that sustainability is actually the need of the need of the hour right now. And I would really love to ask that could you please share what initially drew you to technology and sustainability? How did your early experience shape your career path and lead you to the current role at ThoughtWorks?
Yeah, so I would say it's quite like, when you're in a community environment, right? You see a good opportunity, someone offered you something, and it's a kind of initiative, just you kind of on a random say yes, and then you're okay, very tightly packed. So it happened like ThoughtWorks is one of the founding member for Green Software Foundation, which is majorly a lot of group of companies working together, understanding green software, how to build a standard, how to make more tools, right? So as ThoughtWorks was a founding member, we had the internal community, right? So they were like, okay, we need people from different regions. We need people who can actually go and join the calls, get insights, motivate people inside, right? So I just joined the community, and then I give a talk with another person as a India level talk. And then, as a factor, right, as a fresher, right, you always want a specialty, right, and expertise, right. So I thought, okay, this could be my expertise because a lot of people are not doing this, right. And then as I got deeper, right, okay, 1 year I spent that and 1.5 years, right. And a lot of topic, right. You start giving people KT, okay, these are all the resources, get started. So it's like, okay, the go-to person of, okay, if someone wants to understand sustainability, they used to just ping me randomly, how to get started in sustainability. Can you give us resources, right? So that's how I actually became the go-to person for sustainability. So we also organized some events in office. We had a lot of, we also got those, CSEC folks, CEOs of different clients and all in the office. So yeah, we had a lot of initiative, but then it comes down to that billability. Right? If you can't convert that to business opportunities, you might lose the motivation down the line.
Definitely so. That was really incredible to know and inspiring also that we should always look into what we are interested into. So what unique challenges have you encountered while advocating for sustainable technologies? And how have you overcome these challenges with confidence and resilience? Um, how would you define that?
Yeah, I think one is the expertise, right? So as the field is too new, we are not able to promote a lot on the billability side, but we were able to adopt, get the people to adopt our open source tool, which is Cloud Carbon Footprint tool, right? So we faced the challenge that we could not get the metric, right? So it goes in over it's a process, right? It takes a lot of time to convince the people, right? So one, we showed the value of the tool itself, but as it was open source, we faced the challenge of not being able to convert that to a billability thing, right? So we faced that challenge, but then we trying to create more resource, more experts on the field, right? So we are trying to find more resources, find more tools, and then it's a continuous process, right? Right.
That was really insightful, sir. So this brings me to my another question. That is, as a mentor, what advice do you have for individuals seeking mentors in the tech industry, and how can they maximize the benefits of these mentorship relationships?
Okay, so one, I would say, first, do not go do not have too many mentors, because a lot of time we see, one mentor is giving one advice, another is giving a counter advice, right? So if we see a mix of advices, I think one, find a person you feel you feel a comfort level, that you are easy, you are comfortable hearing a lot of, you might get angry, right? He might give you a direction, right? He might say a lot of things which you might not like, right? One, you need to find that comfort level, and the other, I would say, find a mentor who is in a role which you want to be, right? So let's say you want to be a front-end dev. Find a person who's very good at that. Like let's say 5 or 10 years experience. When you're starting, have a at least 5-10 years gap, right? So find a lead, find a senior who has like 7-8 years experience, right? So they have done enough on their career, so they have seen the whole transition, right? And then see, okay, if you're comfortable enough, right? Because you would need to have some very difficult conversation, right? Because the behavior, the responsibility, the challenges, right? You will see a lot of that while selecting a mentor. So once you have a great mentor, right? So that person will help you out. Okay, your daily challenges. Even if you want to have a do a switch, get a new job, right? So selecting a mentor is the biggest challenge, right?
Thank you so much, sir. This will definitely help us all out when we are looking for one. So, this is a really coming. This is actually something that I was really seeking answers for, especially for the mentorship. It was really thoughtful, especially like when we talk about the industry. As a student, I'd love to ask for some advice on talking about those dreaded interview questions, like when they ask you, tell me about a time you failed, like those behavioral interview questions, how to tackle them.
Yeah. So it's more major, like you tell how you failed, but then you also give a positive point. Okay, how you have countered that, and you won't repeat that mistake, right? So it's like how you portray your weakness as a strength. Like, okay, let's say I do not take care of my health. I overwork, right? If I take a responsibility, I do it in time, even if I mess up with my health, right? So try to portray your weakness or a failure as a future strength. So if let's say you failed to delegate in past, but then now you have learned and you have improved your skills in that, right? You haven't delegated due to too much pressure on yourself that impacted your health. So probably try to have a direction on that.
This is surely going to be very helpful to us, sir. Let's celebrate the advancement and successes in the sustainable tech. Who are some of your role models in this field, and what advice would you give to aspiring tech leaders aiming to make a positive impact through their work?
Yeah, so the people I look up to, right? So I would say for sustainable tech leader, right? So there is one person, Asin Hussain, right? So he is a like executive director for GSF. So he started like a hobby project, and then it went like a whole course. So he started. He had a very great return. He had a ambience of like abundant of knowledge, right? And currently he's in I think Intel, I guess. So he is sustainable director in Intel. So he has an abundant of knowledge, and I have also worked with people in ThoughtWorks. So we have a whole clean tech service line in ThoughtWorks. So the team which has worked on the cloud carbon footprint tool. So they are also very very understanding. Then okay, a lot of topics, how to improvise code, how to maintain that, and always learning more, right? The idea is, even if you know a lot, you're still learning, you're still growing, right? And I think open to feedback, right? So even if you feel okay, I feel okay, I don't have enough experience to tell them okay what to do, they are still open to the ideas, and I think that's how you feel. People are so wonderful.
That was really intriguing, sir. It is actually giving us the curiosity to learn about them more, surely. So, sir, this has been really an insightful discussion. What are your top three takeaways from for our listeners as they navigate their journey into the tech industry, and how can they become active advocates for sustainable technology?
I would say I think I wouldn't say be too active in sustainability. Choose a place we want to like that, right? So let's say if you are more interested in AI, try to be AI advocate, right? An advocate is not like a designation thing. It's more like you're constantly doing it, right? If you see some place, you can raise out your voice, share your opinion, right? You're actively providing your insights. So let's say if I say I'm sustainable tech advocate, if I see an area where we can use sustainability, I will advise, okay, can we make it more sustainable? When we see, okay, if you're using a lot of resources on a weekend, where probably we can shut it down, right? So at least 4 or 5 ways, and try to see, okay, whenever you're observing, right? So find an area where you have an inclination or where you feel like, okay, this is my area of interest. It could be security, it could be AI, it could be sustainability. So choose an area which actually aligns with your aspirations. And then be an active advocate. Like you learn all the good practices, you learn all the things, right? Also, all keep learning, right? Keep learning with others. Find the experts there, get the insights, and then if you know the insight, share with others, right? So, yeah.
That was incredibly insightful, sir. Thank you so much for sharing your journey and insights with us today. Your dedication to both technology and sustainability is truly inspiring. That's a wrap on another impactful episode of Audioblog. We hope you're inspired to bridge the gap between your skills and the industry expectations. Don't forget to check out Technophiles for more events and resources. Until next time, keep coding, keep innovating, and keep listening to audioblogs. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.